What is up, y'all? Today's April 3rd, 8:50 p.m., and we're going to go over INJ. First and foremost, none of this is financial advice. Please share your own risk. This is purely just for educational purposes only and entertainment. So INJ, I have no idea what it does, and I'm going to go over how I do my TA from a top-down analysis. So for me, I always start off as a high time frame. In this case, it would be the monthly, so I would mark it here. And then this is the mid-range, and then this is top. Ideally, I want to look for the most confluence or the most candle touches, right? So we've met equilibrium, but looks like we want to target the top of this range. Let me turn my phone down. All right, so that's the monthly. Let's look at the weekly. No change needs to be made here. You can see RSI. Once it trends below, then we're downtrending, and then once we break above 50, then we're uptrending. All right, that's the key pivot. So you can see from, let's say here, right, downtrending, and then you can break right here. You can call that uptrending. So that's just a good way to measure momentum and see if you're trending on any asset is using RSI. A lot of people are confused about it, saying, oh, if it's oversold, then it's a good time to buy. I mean, relatively, yes, it is, but something could stay oversold and still go down. The main way I use it now is above 50, trend up, below 50, trend down. So this is a 3-day chart. Something else I always use. And then this is perfectly respected as well. You can see that. Now, in terms of a count, we can just call this an impulse of wave 1, right? And it looks very funky. Now, the main question I have is this the low or is this the low? And by that I mean, where does the real impulse start? So one way to label it is like this. And then this is kind of sus. It might even be an ABC into a complex correction, WX, YXZ. So what I mean by that is maybe it's like this, right? So just a bunch of ABCs down, and then the greater count, W, X, Y, X, Z. Maybe it's something like that. But I mean, the subdivision doesn't matter now. It's just if you're really into the low time frame division, it doesn't really matter too much. What matters is where does impulse start and begin, right? So for me, I mean, you could argue it started right here, and this is some kind of expanded irregular correction, and then let's hide this, and then maybe we're in this corrective pattern, and then for me, I always like to, if it's a wave 2s and 4s are usually around the same amount of time. So maybe we're in some kind of running correction right now, where this is still a false breakout, right? And then maybe it's like an ABC, or maybe it's an ABC, so ABCA, ABCB, and then to get your C wave target, assuming that this is locally topped, then we can also do channeling. Let me make this like not so, actually I should. There we go. All right, so if we are channeling, it can either be a running or expanded flat, but most likely it's probably like a complex WXY, because this to me looks like an AB. Oh no, this is a WXY. Sorry, this is WXY. So if that's a WXY, then this has to be an ABC. Or it doesn't have to be, but by the guideline of alternation, waves 2 and 4 should alternate. So if this is complex, then this should be simple, right? And ideally it's probably gonna retest 394, just from that fib and its confluence, right? That fib level, this point of control, so I think 3.94 would be good entries. So if it gets there, then I would be interested in adding something like that. Okay, so that's one possible account. Let me label this too. So I'll call all this. I'll make it account 1. And then let's look at a different. Let's assume that this is the low, right? That's the low, and then we put in 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Maybe this 1, 2. I'm not gonna lie, this looks a lot like a neutral triangle. Let me just pull up a picture. What a neutral triangle. Wow, that's so small. 1 second. All right, so for example, this is a neutral triangle, right? It looks very similar to that. It basically, yeah, it looks exactly like it. So that could be one possible case. 1 second, guys. But let's just use regular. I'll leave this here somewhere. I'll hide it. If we are really bullish, then it's a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it's nested, right? So something like that. Now, I mean, that could be the case, but I'm not sure. I'm more inclined to think that we're in some kind of running correction. So we're something like this, ABC down, ABC up, and then we have some kind of C wave, and then we run higher. So it's very, very similar to the other count, right? And then same exact thing. I would be interested in these two levels, and then I'll go blast off. Okay, so that's my take on the low time frame. I'll name this count 1. Oh, sorry, count 2. So that's my take on INJ. Now let's get some macro targets. Let's say we are in a bull market, right? This is a tool that I always use. I learned from Puppy Trades. So this is called the inverted fib, right? Make sure on your settings -1236, -1618, and then you do it based on log scale. And then why this is important is that most algos and bots are programmed to take profit at these levels. So these two levels are key. So there's probably gonna be heavy profit taking. So I would assume something like that, right? And then blast off. That's what I would think would happen. So without even using any Elliott wave, I would think that we're gonna test up here, stall, maybe pull back, and then go. That's how I would play it. Now let's get some macro targets. It's the same tool. You just do it from the bottom to the top of the correction, right? So you just have to identify it first. First we'll go, I guess we can go extreme. Let's say it looks, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's like a low market cap coin relatively. I don't know what it does. I do not know what it does, but I feel like it's just in its own bull market. So if we are very bullish, then okay, this sounds too insane. I don't know. There's no way it's gonna go that high, in my opinion. We'll keep it like this, right? Let's turn off log. Okay, yeah, this is more realistic, right? So I think if you were to make a new all-time high, then these are the levels I'm interested in. So for me, again, I'm expecting a test of all-time highs, 15, retest mid-range, and then shoot and go, something like that. And then you can call it, that'll be your wave 3. So wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. But I mean, it can go to whatever it was. What was it again? It can go to 416. Maybe, who knows? If it's a real bull run, I won't even discount it. Just stay conservative for now, and then we'll take profits on the way. So that's INJ. Hopefully the video wasn't too long. Hope you guys learned something. If you guys are interested in my Discord, just DM me on Twitter, and I'll hit you up with the invite link. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a safe day and safe trading.